Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, U.S. Immigration News. Venezuelans under TPS can apply for refugee status, Kristi Noem says. Kristi Noem, the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, emphasized on Sunday that the United States is looking for a Venezuelan leader who will act as a partner in protecting American interests. Speaking on Fox News Sunday, Noem stated that Washington wants a Venezuelan government that collaborates to prevent drug trafficking and blocks terrorists from entering the country. We need a partner that understands that we're going to protect America, Noem explained. Her comments reflect ongoing concerns over Venezuela's role in the flow of drugs and migrants into the United States. TPS status under review. Noem also addressed the immigration status of Venezuelan nationals living in the U.S. under temporary protected status. She noted that decisions on TPS are part of a broader administration-wide review process managed by the Department of Homeland Security. Venezuela today is more free than it was yesterday, Noem said, adding that Venezuelans previously under TPS can now apply for refugee status. She emphasized the importance of ensuring U.S. programs comply with the law and have meaningful impact. Termination of TPS for Venezuelans. 4 months ago, Noem terminated the 2021 Biden-era TPS designation for Venezuela, affecting more than 250,000 Venezuelans living in the U.S. The decision, she explained, was made after determining that the program ran contrary to U.S. national interests. This move came in addition to prior actions that stripped temporary status from approximately 350,000 Venezuelans. Florida, home to over half of Venezuelan TPS holders, has seen many of these residents face revoked work permits and engage in legal battles to remain in the country. Local leaders call for TPS restoration. Elaine Higgins, Democratic mayor of Miami, criticized the revocation, calling it reckless, dangerous, and wrong. She argued that the ongoing instability in Venezuela makes the country unsafe for return and stressed that no one should be forced back into chaos and uncertainty. U.S. demands clear leadership. Noem highlighted that the Trump administration has sent a clear message to Venezuela's interim leader, Delcy Rodriguez, following Nicolas Maduro's capture by U.S. authorities. You can lead, or you can get out of the way, Noem said, adding that the U.S. will not allow leaders who subvert American influence or facilitate crimes and drug trafficking to remain in power. Immigration Moratorium to be proposed under new bill. A Republican member of Congress has announced plans to introduce legislation calling for a temporary pause on immigration to the United States, reigniting an already intense national debate over border security and legal migration. The proposal, widely described as an immigration moratorium, would temporarily halt new entries into the country while lawmakers reassess the existing system. Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna revealed her intentions in a public statement shared on social media this week. She argued that the current framework is deeply flawed and vulnerable to exploitation, insisting that drastic action is required to restore order and credibility to U.S. immigration policy. Called for an overhaul of a broken system. Our immigration system is incredibly broken, Luna wrote, asserting that many individuals have entered the country and abused legal pathways. According to the Congresswoman, a temporary freeze will provide the federal government with the opportunity to flush the system and rebuild it with stronger safeguards. She confirmed that she plans to formally introduce the legislation once Congress reconvenes, though specific details and timelines have not yet been disclosed. While supporters frame the moratorium as a necessary reset, critics warn it could disrupt families, businesses, and humanitarian protections. Still, the proposal reflects growing momentum within Republican ranks to pursue sweeping immigration restrictions. Why a moratorium matters. An immigration moratorium typically involves suspending the processing of new visas, green cards, asylum claims, or other forms of lawful entry. Proponents argue that such pauses allow authorities to evaluate enforcement gaps, modernize vetting procedures, and reduce backlogs. Opponents counter that halting legal immigration does little to address unauthorized crossings and may harm the U.S. economy, which relies heavily on immigrant labor. The idea gains traction amid broader efforts by Republican leaders to curb immigration across multiple channels. Trump administration's hardline approach. President Donald Trump now in his second administration, has repeatedly pledged to reduce immigration levels. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and U.S. Border Patrol have intensified arrests and deportations, targeting both undocumented immigrants and individuals whose legal status has expired. These measures form part of a wider strategy to tighten enforcement and deter future migration. Similar legislative efforts gain attention. Luna's proposal follows earlier action by Texas Representative Chip Roy, who introduced the pausing all admissions until Security Insured Act in November. That bill seeks to halt nearly all immigration, excluding short-term tourist visas, until Congress enacts comprehensive reforms. The legislation will impose an open-ended freeze on most visas and status adjustments, signaling a far-reaching shift in policy. Recent policy shifts and data trends. The administration has already limited several legal pathways. Eligibility requirements for visas, green cards, and asylum have tightened, while some programs have been suspended outright. Earlier this month, Homeland Security Secretary Noom announced the suspension of the Diversity Visa Lottery program following a high-profile criminal case. Additionally, refugee admissions are set to be capped at 7,500 for the 2026 fiscal year. According to the Pew Research Center, the undocumented immigrant population reached a record 14 million in 2023. However, by mid-2025, deportations and departures began to outpace new arrivals, contributing to a notable decline in the overall immigrant population. Pew attributes this shift to increased enforcement, fewer asylum claims, and changing global migration patterns. As Congress prepares to revisit immigration policy, proposals like Luna's moratorium underscore how central and contentious the issue remains in shaping America's future. DHS pauses immigration applications for an additional 20 countries. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has announced a significant pause on immigration-related applications from 20 additional countries, following the expansion of U.S. travel restrictions that took effect on January 1st. This decision marks a notable shift in how legal immigration pathways are being administered and reviewed under current federal policy. USCIS suspends review of pending applications. According to a memo released Thursday by U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the agency will temporarily halt the review of all pending applications, including visas, green cards, citizenship, and asylum submitted by nationals from these newly affected countries. Beyond the pause, USCIS plans to conduct retroactive reviews of applications approved as far back as 2021, signaling a deeper reassessment of prior immigration decisions. Countries primarily in Africa affected, the expanded list consists largely of African nations. Among those named are Angola, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. These countries were added after the Trump administration broadened the scope of travel restrictions last month, increasing the total from 19 to 39 countries, along with the Palestinian Authority. The move underscores heightened scrutiny of immigrants, even when they have followed established legal processes. National security and overstay concerns. In justifying the pause, USCIS emphasized national security and public safety considerations. The memo states that individuals from high-risk countries of concern must be carefully reviewed to prevent potential threats. It also cites high visa overstay rates and documented cases of fraud as reasons for stopping or slowing the flow of applicants from certain regions, asserting that strict enforcement is necessary to uphold U.S. immigration law. Limited exceptions to the policy. Despite the broad scope of the pause, DHS outlined specific exceptions. Athletes and members of their support teams participating in global events, such as the World Cup and the Olympic Games, will still be eligible for processing, reflecting an effort to balance security priorities with international commitments. Events leading to expanded restrictions. The administration first signaled a potential expansion of restrictions following the arrest of an Afghan national suspected in the Thanksgiving weekend shooting of 2 National Guard troops. That incident intensified calls for tougher immigration oversight. Broader crackdown on legal migration. Toward the end of 2025, DHS began implementing wider measures to reassess legal immigration pathways. USS announced it would re-review the status of all refugees admitted during the Biden administration and impose an indefinite pause on asylum application processing while addressing an extensive backlog. Together, these steps point to a more restrictive and security-driven immigration landscape heading into the coming year. U.S. travel restrictions tighten as travelers face questioning, inspections at airports. Travelers arriving in the United States are increasingly experiencing detailed questioning and extended security screening at airports and border checkpoints. For many, this process goes beyond routine inspection and can result in delays, temporary detention, or referral to secondary screening. These experiences often create stress, confusion, and unexpected disruptions to travel plans, particularly for international visitors and non-citizens. Reasons behind increased scrutiny. There are several reasons why travelers may be subjected to additional screening. These include discrepancies in travel records, visa history concerns, random selection, or specific travel patterns that trigger closer review by border authorities. In some cases, individuals may face delayed entry or exit, while others may be denied boarding altogether. Importantly, not all referrals to secondary screening are related to law enforcement databases. Expansion of biometric data collection. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is planning to introduce more comprehensive biometric screening measures for immigrants and non-citizens. If approved, the new policy would significantly expand data collection to include voice prints, iris scans, fingerprints, facial photographs, and even DNA. This initiative would apply to all individuals connected to immigration benefit applications. Under the proposed plan, international students, foreign workers, and tourists will be photographed upon both entry into and exit from the United States. U.S. officials state that the goal is to strengthen identity verification, enhance national security, and improve the accuracy of immigration records. Travelers facing delays or denials. Some travelers report repeated delays, denials of entry, or frequent referrals to secondary screening at ports of entry for individuals who believe they've been unfairly or incorrectly flagged. The Department of Homeland Security offers a formal resolution process through the Travel Redress Inquiry Program, commonly known as DHS TRIP. Understanding DHS TRIP. DHS TRIP serves as a single point of contact for individuals seeking clarification or correction regarding travel screening difficulties. It is designed for travelers who experience repeated inspections at airports, train stations, or U.S. border crossings. Through this program, individuals can submit inquiries to request that inaccurate or outdated information in DHS systems be reviewed and corrected. To improve processing time, applicants are encouraged to provide detailed information about where and when the screening issues occurred. If the situation relates to a past incident with mitigating circumstances, supporting explanations and documentation should be included. Addressing overstay allegations. If a traveler has been informed that the issue involves a suspected visa overstay, they must submit evidence demonstrating compliance with departure requirements. Required information typically includes a traveler's full name, address, date of birth, and a clear copy of the passport identification page. Freedom of Information Act requests. Under the Freedom of Information Act, individuals may request copies of records that U.S. Customs and Border Protection hold about them, including entry and exit history. This is particularly useful for those applying for lawful permanent residence or U.S. citizenship. However, FOIA requests are strictly for accessing records and not for submitting inquiries or questions. Privacy and authorized representation. DHS emphasizes that all personal information submitted through DHS TRIP is protected and used solely to process redress requests. If a third party, such as an attorney, is acting on behalf of a traveler, a completed Form G-28 must be provided. Travelers should also note that some land border travel records may be incomplete, especially for legal permanent residents traveling by car between the U.S., Canada, or Mexico. That is all for today in this video. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.